The greatest samurai of all time, Miyamoto Musashi. The answer to who is the greatest samurai of all time is subjective and varies based on individual opinions and perspectives. However, there are a few samurai who are often regarded as some of the greatest in Japanese history due to their skill in combat, leadership, and overall impact on Japanese society and culture. In this video, we are going to talk about Miyamoto Musashi, widely considered as one of the greatest swordsmen in Japanese history. He is said to have fought in over 60 duels and is known for his unique style of fighting with two swords. His life, which spanned from 1584 to 1645, is the subject of numerous books, movies, and other works of art, and his legacy continues to influence Japanese culture and martial arts to this day. Early life and training. Miyamoto Musashi was born in the Harima province in Japan in 1584 during the Sengoku period, a time of great social upheaval and military conflict. His father, Shinmen Munasai, was a skilled swordsman who trained Musashi in the art of kenjutsu from a young age. When Musashi was still a boy, his father sent him to live with his uncle, who was also a skilled swordsman. It was during this time that Musashi first began to hone his skills as a fighter, often engaging in duels with other students and fighters. Musashi's early training was focused on the traditional style of sword fighting practiced at the time, which emphasized the use of a single long sword known as a katana. However, Musashi quickly realized that this style of fighting was too limiting and began to experiment with other weapons and techniques. His famous duel with Sasaki Kojiro. Miyamoto Musashi is known for his legendary skills as a swordsman, and he is said to have fought in many duels throughout his life. However, his most famous and perhaps greatest fight was against Sasaki Kojiro on the island of Ganryu in 1612. It's also important to note that Musashi was a ronin, which means he was a masterless samurai. During his time period, ronins were looked down upon by society, and they were not able to find employment or protection under a lord. So, fighting in duels was a way for Musashi to earn a living and build his reputation. Sasaki Kojiro was a renowned swordsman who had been seeking a duel with Musashi for some time. Musashi, who had a reputation for being unpredictable, accepted the challenge and traveled to the island of Ganryu to face Kojiro in what would become one of the most famous duels in Japanese history. On the day of the duel, Musashi arrived on the island carrying a wooden sword that he had carved from an oar on the journey to the island. Kojiro, by contrast, wielded a long, curved sword known as a nodachi. The two fighters faced off on the beach, and the fight was intense and brutal, with both fighters unleashing a flurry of strikes and counterattacks. Musashi, who was known for his unorthodox fighting style, quickly gained the upper hand and was able to disarm Kojiro. In a final, dramatic move, Musashi struck Kojiro with a fatal blow, leaving him mortally wounded on the beach. Musashi then walked away, leaving behind his wooden sword as a symbol of his victory. The duel between Miyamoto Musashi and Sasaki Kojiro on the island of Ganryu has become a legendary tale of Japanese martial arts. It is often cited as one of the greatest duels in history, and Musashi's victory cemented his reputation as one of the greatest swordsmen of all time. Musashi's unorthodox fighting style. One of the things that set Miyamoto Musashi apart from other samurai of his time was his unorthodox fighting style. Rather than relying on a single sword, he often used two swords, one in each hand, in a style known as Miten Ichi Ryu. He also developed a range of other techniques and strategies, such as using the environment to his advantage, such as throwing sand in an opponent's eyes or using trees as cover. This made him a highly unpredictable fighter, and his opponents often struggled to anticipate his moves. In addition to his skills as a fighter, Musashi was also known for his philosophical and spiritual beliefs. He wrote extensively about Zen Buddhism and the warrior code, and his writings continue to be studied and admired by martial artists and scholars around the world. Later life and legacy. After his famous duel with Sasaki Kojiro, Miyamoto Musashi continued to be active as a swordsman and teacher. He traveled throughout Japan, engaging in duels and teaching his techniques to other fighters. In his later years, Musashi became more focused on philosophy and writing. He wrote several famous works, including The Book of Five Rings, which outlines his philosophy on strategy and martial arts. The book remains a popular and influential text for martial artists, business leaders, and others seeking to apply Musashi's principles to their own lives and endeavors. Miyamoto Musashi passed away in 1645 at the age of 61. His legacy as one of the greatest samurai of all time continues to be celebrated in Japan and around the world. Musashi's fighting style and philosophy continue to be studied and practiced by martial artists, and his writings continue to inspire and inform people of all backgrounds and interests. In addition to his influence on martial arts and philosophy, Miyamoto Musashi has also become a cultural icon in Japan. He has been the subject of numerous movies, books, and other works of art, and his image can be found on everything from t-shirts to sake bottles. Overall, Miyamoto Musashi was a complex and fascinating figure who made an indelible mark on Japanese history and culture. His legacy as a warrior, philosopher, and artist continues to inspire people around the world to this day, and his teachings remain relevant and valuable in today's society. Thank you for watching. If you want to support my channel and see more similar content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more.